Hello everyone, I'm Yeti from Review Gaming, and today we're gonna play some Mercury Fallen. Oh yes, it's about time I got back to this one. So Mercury Fallen is a sci-fi colony management sim that just left early access back in August, but it's actually been in development for at least 6 years, because the first time I played it was in 2017, when I do seem to recall it being in very early alpha. But I haven't actually played it in the past 3 years or so, I think. And it has been updated a bunch since, so I'm probably gonna be really confused and not know how everything works, and there's gonna be some new things, but we'll figure it out, right? So it's a pretty casual game, kind of a slow burn kind of game that you sit down with after a long day of work and you can just chill. There's no combat, there's not going to be any enemy raids that's going to come and trash our base or anything. It's more about managing your colonists, advancing tech, and exploring the surroundings, right? It doesn't mean that your colonists can't get hurt, because you still have to take care of their needs, and there might be some environmental events that can get them hurt, but overall it is a very chill game, and it's intended to be, which I personally really like. So anyway, let's just get into this, right, guys? There's also now Steam Workshop support, so there might be some mods to find for the game, which is always a really nice feature as well, and add some replayability in case anyone made some really nice mods. But we are just gonna go with vanilla. I prefer doing at least one full run in vanilla before I even consider adding mods to a game in general. So there are now scenarios. I don't remember that being a thing last time I played, so there's going to be a lot of stuff like that, which is when we start with standard, it is with 3 colonists and 1 robot. You can go with an easy start, then you have 4 colonists and 2 robots. I actually think that was how it was when I last played. At least I had 2 robots and I think I had 4 colonists, but it's been a while, right? Then there's challenge, where you start with only 2 colonists. Ooh, I think that would be tricky. Then we have a robot uprising, then we only have robot workers to start with. Robophobia, then you only have human colonists to start with, and now there's also a custom scenario that enables full edit mode in settings and crew setup, so you have a lot more control over how everything starts out, what kind of stats your crew has and things like that, if you want to make it easier or harder for yourself. We are, however, gonna just go with a standard start. Let's go into settings. So we have our map here. This is just the underground map. Eventually we'll be able to get to the surface as well. I tend to go with a large map, just because I like to have as much room and as many resources available to me. But again, that's a matter of a preference. Wherever this little green marker is where our base is gonna be. I would kind of like it to be a little bit away from the edge, I think, but mostly it's a matter of what is around it, because you can see different types of resources here. I don't really remember what everything is, aside from the blue, light blue being water, and the dark is something we need for fuel. The others would be things so we can make iron and stuff like that, but it's probably nice to have at least some of everything nearby, because this is pretty much going to be filled with dirt. We are going to have to do a lot of mining to get around. Ooh, here we have a lot of resources nearby, so we have our little base here. You can also see, like, there are some parts of the base out here, or the original base, right? But we'll get more into that. So we have some water, we have purple, red, we have some yellow, we have black, white, and I think that might be okay. I'm not gonna spend too much time on it. I'll try not to anyway. Then of course we start out with some emergency rations, we have some resources and some few seeds, so we can kind of get started on planting. Then there are all kinds of settings in here that affects different things in the game, as well as the game events. We don't have any control over that here, but if you start a custom game, of course you'll be able to adjust some things. Then we can see our crew. I would prefer starting out in a way so that everybody can do everything. Even though they have low skill level, usually they only have one job where they are good at it at the beginning, but you can, as they do certain jobs, they will get better at it, right? And you also have different attributes over here, smarts, athletics, muscles, which will in some way impact these different jobs. But this you can train to get better, and you can also equip certain equipments that will improve these things. They also have quirks, which will impact some things. For instance, here we have charming. People just enjoy being around me. Chance to reduce stress of nearby colonists, so that's a good thing. Botanophobia, fear of plants, unable to perform botanist tasks, so that's why this is red. I wouldn't want someone like that because we only have 4 colonists. Well, one of them is a robot to perform all these jobs, and a robot can't do everything. They can do some of these things in the beginning until we get more colonists. So I would want everyone to be able to do everything. Then there's fetal sit, which is a stress reaction. Sitting in a fetal position should help me relax. So whenever you get stressed out, you're going to be like sitting in this position, which might not be a good thing. Some of these might be negative. Like this person will be pacing when they are there. You will too be pacing when you're stressed out. Then we have like a light job. You like to be a janitor, which is interesting because you actually have a high botanist skill. But we might want you to be a janitor. I don't think I'm going to be focusing much on this, but anyway. A botanist is one thing that I really want to start out with someone with a high skill, I think, because we are going to have to harvest some food, right? Plants and harvest crops. In the beginning, we can only eat like potatoes or something before we can start cooking later. So I think that's a good thing to start out with. You are a doctor, which might not be a bad thing. But on the other hand, from what I remember, it says treats patients at the medibed, and I don't think you can actually treat anyone until you actually get a medibed, which I feel like usually takes a while. So I don't feel like it's something I want to prioritize. It might be a good thing, because the higher the skill, the less chance of failing, which means they'll perform these jobs faster. You know, they will, if they have a low skill level, they will fail more often, and then it takes longer to do things, right? So I think we're gonna choose something else for you. I usually have my botanist doing the cooking too, so not really my highest priority. I think I would like an engineer. It's only at 4 though, but might not be the bad. You have fairly average things here. Smarts, athletics, muscles. Let's leave you like that for now. We have a botanist, and then what is the other thing I would like? Maybe a builder would be a good thing. Surveyor. Okay, surveyor is not something we need right at the beginning because this is for surface resources. The biologist I also feel like we don't usually need in the beginning. But there's at least, well, I think 10 other jobs. I think there are 12 jobs in total that we are kind of gonna need in the near future. So let's see if we can get someone who's just reasonable. I'm not gonna go for anything perfect. Technician will repair stuff, for instance. But ultimately, it's a matter of preference. And then we have builder, smart athletics, muscles. Smart athletics, muscles. They're probably not perfect, but there we go. We have an engineer, we have a builder, we have a botanist, and then I do like that my robot can do at least these 5 or these as many jobs as possible, because we need someone to fill out some stuff, because sometimes they can only, see, this one would only be able to do 2. You're good at hauling though, but still, since we don't have many people to work with in the beginning, it would be nice for it to be able to do more stuff. And a good miner, I think that's what we're gonna go with. On the other hand, well, I still want you to be a good miner because you're gonna do a lot of mining, but we will probably run out of power before we kind of get things set up. So it might be better to have, you know what, I think we're gonna try and make you a good miner. Then you can't be a biologist, that's not good. I think I changed my mind. I think I want someone. Oh, there we go. Mining, high on muscles, athletics, smarts, kind of lower, of course. You like to be a janitor. Okay, you don't like a certain meal, but that's fine. Yep, let's go with that. Aha. Could easily spend much more time on it, but I feel like if you really want to be specific, then a custom stat might be better, because then you can, adjust much more. And usually if I was just playing myself, I wouldn't spend that much time on it, I think, because I kind of like the challenge of just using whatever you get, right? So you can just kind of do a random world, a random map, and a random whatever people you get, and then it might be easier or hard to start, or harder to start out, depending on the stats of your people, right? But anyway, by the turn of the 22nd century, space exploration was dominated by corporate interests. Once a task for governments, space travel became a competitive market where companies pushed boldly and blindly into the black, intent only on a return on investment. For the first time in human history, Infinity Corp was about to attempt the colonization of a planet outside of Earth's solar system. The construction vessel Mercury was launched to start the automated construction of an underground facility on an alien planet. A small research team was also sent to survey the planet before a colony ship full of settlers left Earth. The research team would awake from stasis automatically shortly after their arrival. Or at least that was the plan. Oh dear. After years of silence, decay, and settling dust, what remains of the Mercury facility whirs back to life. The screens flicker on the long dormant stasis capsules containing the crew. They are finally ready to emerge from their long, dreamless sleep. Ooh. Okay, so facility structure critical, surface elevator destroyed, satellite link offline, mission crew error, unable to establish connection to all capsules. Oh dear, that's not good. So, updated mission objectives: rebuild underground facility, construct elevator, and establish a satellite connection to Earth. Ooh, okay. So, supplies, open supply chests, open stasis capsule, and deconstruct 10 walls. So that's kind of our intro missions here, tutorial missions. And I'm just gonna hit space right off the bat to kind of, give us a moment to catch a breath and kind of just get a little overview. But I think the first thing we are gonna do is to actually open these different things, right? So we have our colonists here. Let's open, there we go, and you can see one here is already open. So if you look at it, it says down here, this stasis capsule has already been opened. Internal logs show the capsule was opened at the planned revival time. There is no sign of the original occupant. Oh dear. And then of course we need to activate our little robot here, so we're gonna do that, and then we are gonna open the canister. Of course nothing is really happening, so I have to press space. There we go. So we can see our supply chest had these things that we were supposed to get, and then it also gave us some comfy shoes, which gives +2 to athletics. We get advanced power supply, minus 40% power consumption. That's pretty good for machine equipment. And we get a vehicle equipment, movement speed +50%. So that's not something we're going to be needing right off the bat. There we go. Let's just pause again. Because we're going to take a little look at our colonists here, where we can see an overview of them and manage their job roles, equipment, and view our colonist status. And there's actually also schedules now. There's like a default schedule which sets up when they will work, when they will train, when they will sleep, and there's recreation, and then they can even have some free time. I'm just going to leave this for now, but eventually it might be nice once we get more colonists, which yes we can, then it might be nice to set up shifts. Like you might want like a three different shifts or something throughout the day, so you don't overwork people and you can kind of have all 24 hours covered or something. But we'll see when we get into it. What I want to do right now is I think we are just gonna go in here, where you can see their attributes, you can see what they're doing. I think, yeah, that's their outfit. You can kind of change their colors if you want to. We might eventually mess around with this because it might be nice to well, you can change it depending on what you want. You can customize it depending on what you want. But I was thinking it might be handy to give them outfit colors based on their jobs, because it might be easier to notice them. So for instance, whoever is working with the farming or something, they might have green clothes or something. But I haven't really thought that through, but it's an option. Then you can see their health, their hunger, their fatigue, their stress. You can see what they're carrying. They can carry 85 resources, or however that takes up, how much space it takes up. And then you can see their jobs, and this is priority. So primary job, secondary, and tertiary. So they will do this first if there's an action they can do with this job role. And I think what I want everyone to do right now is, first and foremost, I want them to build and I want them to mine. And I think I'm gonna set everyone to do that, even though they have other things that they can do. But we kind of need to get started, right? So I think this is what we're gonna try and do. Here we go, builder and miner. And of course that's also what I think I'm gonna leave you to primarily mine. But later we're gonna add different jobs to them. Yep, I think that's the plan. Okay, so here we go. What do we actually need to do? We need to deconstruct all of these. Let's just assign that. I don't think I actually got that. There we go. Yep, let's get these deconstructed. And then we need to deconstruct 10 walls. I don't feel like I really want to deconstruct all these basic walls, those, or the nice walls. You can see there's a difference. These are functional walls, and then you have a damaged wall. So the aging remains of the Mercury facility. But let's see, I don't know if I want to keep this room, so we might take that wall as well, and then kind of hope we find some damaged ones when we mine out a little bit. Otherwise we're gonna try and do some of these to complete this. Of course I kind of have some things I usually do, but I think we're gonna try to follow the missions, because, did I mention that? I don't think so. One of the things that have changed since I last played was that it used to be you had a tutorial and then you were kind of left to your own devices, so it was more like a sandbox. But now there's actually a story with mission objectives that will kind of lead you to an end goal. So we're gonna try and kind of follow those, and it's also just a nice way to kind of, you know, get reacquainted, in my case, with the game. So we're gonna try to follow this somewhat. But anyway, we are gonna do some mining. There's one thing we have to worry about. We'll look at that in a moment. But first, let's just try and mine out a bit here, just to kind of see what's there. There's an opening apparently, so there might be some walls or something we can find, just to kind of, there we go. Let's mine that one out so we can actually access it, and the same here, just to kind of mine out. Because we can, as you can see, we can't really see anything that's going on, right? So there we go. And now everyone can kind of help out. Let's mine this because it's a resource. Why can I not mine that? Why will you not let me mine that? Okay, I can mine that one, but oh, now I can mine it. I don't know. Is there a limit now on how much you can queue up or something? I don't know if that's the case. But you can see I'm trying to leave some stuff in here, and it is because there are events, and one of those events is the possibility of cave-ins. Oh, see, I can't continue out here, so I think maybe there's an open area there. Let's mine this out. So this is anthracite, a very hard and relatively pure version of carbon that burns cleaner than coal. Nice. Okay, let's try and mine. Oh, no, nothing there. Okay, maybe we can mine out a little bit there. a little random at the moment what I'm doing, but there we go. It's mostly to kind of see if we can find some stuff. Oh, look at that. We got a little box. Let's close this down and then open and see what we get. Oh, we got a discovery. Aeroponics blueprint. Awesome. We got improved scanner vehicle equipment scan time -10%. We got electronics, some fasteners, improved power coil, and a colonist log day 1 discovery. Cool. Oh, nice. Oh, and we got another box over here. Let's open that. A colonist log day 2 discovery, and we got some potatoes. That's not a bad thing. Let's see. Did anyone else find anything? Oh, there's some extra broken walls here. Let's take those out. We might eventually disable or dismantle some of these walls, but for now I kind of like to leave them up. So let's see. Mining. Let's try and continue out this way a bit. Okay, so we have deconstructed 4 so far. Haven't really found many. Okay, here we go. Let's do this as well. And there. Okay. Okay, maybe mine out a little bit in this direction too. Just to see what's there. And let's see if we can mine some of this out. And this. There we go. Okay, and this would be good for some resources, so let's do that as well. Just kind of keeping them a little bit busy. We'll have to get some food going soon though, but I was hoping to find some more walls. Okay, we might. Let's see. We are gonna go in here. Do some deconstructing. I don't think I really want a room that is that small right over there, so you know what, let's just take these walls out. Take that one as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe take that one. And do we have any other walls somewhere? Oh, there's something over here. Haha, look at that. We found a whole bunch here with damaged walls, so let's take them out first. Oh, and we found a wild potato plant. A genetically modified potato seed from the original mission has grown in the underground soil. Can be harvested for resources. Okay, let's harvest it. And then we're gonna open this canister. Oh, look at that. Renewable resources. Construct crop field. That's because we completed our objective here. So now we're getting some new EMG. I think that's so we can get some fuel. And then we found a colonist log and some glass. Structure resin. Oh, we only got one. That's boring. Oh, we got some biosamples. That's a good thing. Okay. Cool. There we go. They are still busy. So let's have a little look here. Actually first, before we look at that, let's see, where do I want? We have water here. There's one thing to take into account. Right now we're mining, but you can see the ground also has resources. So eventually we will be able to do depth mining. So there might be places where you would want to leave this so you don't build over it. I'm not going to worry about it right here, especially since I have a large map. Otherwise, if you build over it, it might be hard to access it later, right? Without having to remove stuff that you have built. So we get little pop-ups up here, just because they have level up. So we have level 2 miners. Cool. But what I want to figure out is where I want to build some crop fields. First and foremost, it might be nice to have it over here, because if I remember correctly, they have to be on dirt. Must be placed on dirt, so we cannot place them on top of these resources. We cannot place them on top of stone, which this is. So I'm kind of thinking we could move this out and kind of put a wall out here. I know we're going to cover this. And then on the side of it, we are going to put these. So let's do some mining. Let's just kind of get this all removed. Yeah. I think that's what we're gonna do. Let's just let them remove all of that. So while they're busy doing that, let's just check out some things. we have this intro guide where we have an introduction, and then there's all kinds of information in here. So if you are stuck on something, you can kind of go in here and read about the different things. The one thing I want to check right now, because I'm aware that there can be cave-in events, and I don't remember, you know, when it happens, how big of a room can you build, and it does tell me in here. A cave-in may occur on any tile that is not within 5 tiles of a structural support object. Structure supports include natural dirt or walls, metal walls, doors, and the elevator. A cave-in may also happen on tiles with constructed flooring, so constructed rooms should not be no bigger than 10 by 10. And here I think it means that the actual floor can only be 9 by 9, and then the walls have to be like the 10th one, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't know if the floor can be 10 by 10 and then like the 11th one would then be the wall, right? Because that would make a difference. But I feel like if you have a tile in the middle and then you go out 1, 2, 3, 4 tiles more than that, and then put a wall, then it would be within 5, right? So, like in this case here, if this is our center tile in a room, then we can go out 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we would have to have our wall here, I think, for it to be within 5, right? Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that would make a 10 or a 9 by 9 room, right? Because that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 middle, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So that's 9, and then 9, and then the wall is the 10th. So I think that's how it works, but I'm not 100% sure, but that's what I'm gonna aim for. So anyway, we got that sorted out. We know that's the size we need to go for. Since we have this here, I think we are gonna put our walls. We're gonna put some walls in here. This is gonna be, we're gonna leave a door there, so let's just do that, even though we're gonna cover up some resources here, but that's fine. Let's do this. And for right now, I'm gonna leave these until I decide what I want to do, because if I remove these, I think we're gonna risk a cave-in here, right? And I don't know how it works diagonally, because I did make an opening here, so technically this one, well, it is within 5 here, so that's good. But that's something to worry about, all this cave-in stuff. So anyway, let's do this. But as you can see, it's kind of a little bit of a slow start, kind of figuring things out. We need to build 4 of these. So let's see, how much structure resin do I have? I have 42, which this takes 25, which, so we're kind of gonna run out pretty quickly. Okay, let's queue them up. We're gonna queue up. Ooh, there is one thing I'm kind of thinking. Can I cancel that? Let's just kind of, this is for structure. Yes, let's disable that or remove that. We're gonna have a door here. Then, where is it? Over here. Yep, let's speed up a little bit because they're sleeping right now. I know there is this, a crop bin, storage container for crops and seeds. I was kind of thinking it would be nice to have one of those here. You can see there's like a green field next to it, so that's where the colonist will be standing. So maybe put that there and then build over here. With more crop fields, I think that's what we are gonna do. So we're gonna queue you up and you. That's the 4 we need to do, and then we need to build the EMG as well. There we go, now they're awake. I like to have it kind of at slow pace, at least in the beginning, until we kind of get started, so it doesn't run away from us, because we don't have a ton of food. I have 14 emergency rations left, but there is this, so let's harvest it. There's also arrowhead fungus, a large blue capped edible fungus can be harvested for resources. Let's harvest that. Let's see if we found anything else. See, our robot is running out of power. Oh, here we go. Let's get these, because I think the structure resin, we only have 30 left, right? But, and from what I remember, you can't actually get it from mining. You have to get it from breaking down walls. So that's what we are going to do. We're going to try and break down some more of these, and then hopefully we'll get what we need. There we go. Let's get that one. Let's just do one of these walls. Let's do these two. We might eventually want to mine all of these out, but for now let's mainly focus on the ones that are already destroyed. And then hopefully, yes, that is giving me structure resin. That's what I was hoping for, because we have to actually craft it if we want more of it. So right in the beginning you kind of have to rely on this. Keep clicking the wrong thing. Here we go. Let's do this. And then we found a couple more plants, so let's just harvest those. And since I don't actually have anyone assigned as a botanist right now, but now that we are getting these, I think we are gonna go in here and then we're gonna get our botanist going. I don't remember who it was. Let's have a little look. Nope, you have 1 in botanist. Let's look at you. Yes, okay, you have 7. You can see the skill level down here. They have now gotten up to 2 in miner. You can see which job is the primary one. But I want you to first and foremost take care of the crops, right? And then we can see things like success chance, 57%. We get 28% from level, we get 11% from smarts, 9% from athletics, and 9% from muscles. And your work speed is plus 55%. So, of course, at the moment, you're going to be failing almost every other time. Because you haven't maxed out your skill level yet. Then as a secondary thing, I actually want you to be a cook. So whenever you're not taking care of the plants, you're gonna go and do some cooking if there's anything queued up for you to cook, which there isn't yet because we don't have anything. I'm kind of thinking maybe I will let you be a janitor. So whenever you can't do there's nothing to do here, you'll go and do janitorial things. Right. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do first and foremost. Aha, look at that, we have our first one. So let's see, we are gonna assign a crop and we're gonna go for potatoes so that we can get those going. Then you can see different things in here that if they walk over it, it's minus 30% to movement speed. It gives a plus 5 to decor, so it does add some positivity to decor. You can see that it's waiting for a botanist to come and plant the potatoes. Then you can choose whether or not you want the harvest to be dropped on the ground, which could be a good thing in the beginning, I guess, if you don't have any storage. But I think they would do that anyways. I'm not quite sure when you would want to use that. Then you can also do a roster if you have multiple people who can do these things. Then you can prioritize who you want to do it, but that's more for later when we have multiple people who might have the same role. Then you might have multiple crop fields and you want them to focus on specific things, or if you have machines running, then you might want a certain person working this machine and another person with the same job working this machine, right? So there's some stuff there that you can do to manage. Then you can disable this crop field. If you don't want anyone touching it, you can deconstruct it and you can actually move it. I feel like that's a new thing. I don't remember that being an option, so that's pretty cool. But for now, let's just do that. Then we have our little crop bin here. We can also change the color of that. Like if I want it to be, let's say it's gonna be green. You can do the same for storages once we get some of those going, like more general storages to easily see what's where. You can set the priority, which is not so relevant here, but depending on if you want stuff to be stored one place first and then you can have an extra storage somewhere else, for instance, if you have a warehouse for surplus, for instance. You can also change allowed items, so this is also more relevant for other storages, but then you can kind of specify what you want in a specific storage, right? So there's a lot of things you can mess around with. You can see how much is in here. There we go. Okay, so now we got at least one crop field going. We want... how am I doing on food? I have 11 emergency rations. I'm talking way too much. I'm sorry, guys. Let's see. EMG, the emergency mechanical generator, converts mechanical energy into electrical energy. A technician will need to charge up the device regularly. That's something new, actually, because last time I played, you had like I think it was kind of like a coal furnace or something, so they just had to refill it and leave it, but now they actually have to charge this, so that's interesting. It gives us plus 100 to, or 100 watt to power. It has a negative minus 10 to decor, and it requires a utility floor, so that's why it says it's optional to build a utility room. We don't have to actually have a full room, but we do need to have the specific floor for it. So let's see, we have water over here. Don't really need that much water. I'm just thinking about where it would be handy to have a utility room. I have lots of water here, so we could just cover this water, I think. And just kind of leave this as kind of a little center room. I'm not sure what I want to do with it, but we could eventually put an elevator in here, I guess. Unless it is somewhere and we just need to repair it, but... Because also last time I played, there would usually be like a broken elevator that you could repair. Usually in the center here, but okay. I think that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. Let's go in here. We are gonna put a wall. Well, this is kind of the size that you want a room to be, right? So let's put this here. And then we are gonna put a door in. I think right there. And then we need the utility floor, which would be this one, for the production and storage of vital resources such as a power. For right now, we don't really... I think we can just build right over the water. Yes. Let's just put in 2 for now. We also need 2 EMTs. Let's have a little look. What do we need for these? We have everything we need. We just need the floor, and we don't have any more structure resin, so we are gonna have to disable some stuff. Let's go and do that. Let's do that. All right, we are gonna not do, there we go. Okay, I feel like it's a little finicky with letting me do stuff. Sometimes it doesn't really want to do it. See, our little robot ran out of power now, so we're gonna have to soon build a place where it can be recharged. Can we already do that? We have a power conduit. Here we go, charge pad. Yes. Robots will use charge pads to restore power. Then we would need a power conduit, but I'm thinking I would like to have it kind of in the center room so that, you know, whenever they pass through, they can easily get to this. So I'm thinking maybe we'll just put that right over here. Okay. Okay, yeah, it's because it accesses it from this side. I'm like, is that where we have to place it? But no, we have to do it like this. Does it also have to go on a utility floor? Require... No, it doesn't have a requirement. Okay, I just felt like it was red, like we couldn't place it. But there we go. Let's do it. And that means we are gonna need to bring some power over here. There we go, look at that. So we're gonna have an EMG from over here, so I think we're just gonna put this right through there. Right, there we go. And then kind of let them build this. I am probably gonna need more structure resin. There we go. Yes, let's just make sure to get some more potatoes growing. And then over here, we are gonna grow some hemp. Okay. No items currently allowed. Oh, right, I have to actually tell them they can put stuff in here. Well, I kind of just want you to have the seeds in here, I think. And then I would want the food to go in somewhere else. But I guess right now, let's just put raw food in there and then we'll move it later. There, okay. Now I just need you to build those floors, so... Oh boy. This... taking a while. There we go. But that's okay. Let's just... Okay, I guess we'll just mine out some more of these. Trying to make sure I don't cause a cave-in. There we go. Do it. Okay, have we found anything of interest? Don't think so. No, no more. No, no more storages or anything. Okay, but the most important thing is that we now have some food coming in as well. So we have 28 potatoes. We have some emergency rations, so we can kind of get started on that. And then hopefully now that they get that, they can get that built as soon as we get some structure resin going. Okay, now they're sleeping again. Okay, let's speed it down a little bit. And then I just wanted to go and check this out. There are many things to discover, including blueprints, resources, and data. This is where we can view what we have discovered. So, we have Skyhaven Enterprises. Founded in 2040, Skyhaven Enterprises' primary goal was the colonization of Mars. After previous failed attempts, the company was successful in its goal, and the first Mars habitat was populated in 2076. It was during this time some of the employees left the company and formed Infinity Corporation. Infinity Corporation was founded in 2084 by Lance Fredericks, who had left Skyhaven Enterprises shortly before the launch of their Mars population project. Infinity Corporation's primary goal was to be the first organization to colonize a planet outside the solar system. The company received funding from various corporate, government, and individual investors. After the success of Skyhaven's Mars population project and the rising climate concerns, there was more interest in investing in off-planet projects. In 2089, a survey probe was launched to Gliese 887, a red dwarf star system 11 light-years from Earth. New propulsion technology allowed the probe to reach its destination in only 13.5 years and confirmed an Earth-like planet. Initial reports showed an abundance of water and natural resources, but high radiation meant the initial facility would need to be underground. 2110 Mercury mission is announced publicly. 2118, the first of several rockets launched, sending materials and robotic workers to the prospective planet. The robots would begin construction of a facility that would primarily be underground. 2142, the science team is launched on their 15-year journey. The science team lands and is moved by robots into the facility. The science team is ready for awakening. Okay, we have some more stuff, but let's just quickly check what they're doing here. We would want to get an EMG going. So, oh, right, I have to rotate it. So let's do that. Yep. There we go, and we needed to make 2 of them, so let's do that. And then, that is in here. Let's just make sure to get that kind of sorted, and it auto kind of turns, so it matches up, even though I didn't actually turn the pipe right. But there we go. So we are gonna need someone to be a technician for that. So let's have a little look in here. Ooh, who do I want to prioritize that? I kind of usually like my robots to do this. Repairs damaged objects, installs equipment items, and recharges the EMG. So let's do that. And then I think I want you to be a miner and a okay, blinded by science, construct research station, build science room, optional, yes, and then a hauler. Okay, so we kind of have you sorted out. Let's just leave the others as they are for right now. Yep, there we go. Okay. But I do need someone to first charge that. So let's just pick you. Let's just give you a quick tertiary job because you don't really have anything else to do right now. I don't think I have anything queued up for mining or anything. So there we go. You are gonna go and should go and charge this. Just see. Okay. That's 0.0%. Okay, someone is gonna build it, and there we go. Okay, so now you are charging it. Look at that, 30%. The little power icons disappeared. So our robot, even though it doesn't have power, it kind of has an emergency thing. So it will walk over here now and get recharged, right? So look at that, awesome. Okay, and you are busy with the potatoes. Here the hemp is growing. Let's put another one in here. So we're gonna do some hemp here as well. Okay, at least we have that going now. So we have some food. Then we are gonna need to have the science station going. So let's get that built. That needs a science lab floor. And again, we are gonna need more of this. Let's just go. Oh, look at that, what we found. Oh, okay, these we're gonna remove too. And then we found this little one. And there we, oh, come on. There we go. Aha, nice. This robot doesn't appear to be damaged and is just powered off. So we have an extra worker board. That is really, really cool. That was a nice find. And we also have over here a thermal vent. This could be a good potential source of power if we can learn to harness it. So that's something we can do later, right? Oh, yes. Okay, but as you can see, it is actually really, really chill starting out. Just have to kind of get things gradually started here. Okay, let's mine that out. There we go, so we can kind of get over there. It's kind of taking this slow and easy. There we can do that one as well. That's a damaged one. Oh, let's harvest that. Okay, so now we have some power going. We have food going, and we are gonna set up a research station. Let's see, where do I want? I'm gonna need some storage somewhere. Probably once. I usually tend to have like a lot of storage in the center in the beginning, so but I also like to have my research station kind of in the center, so that's what we are gonna do. Let's go in here. We're gonna just remove that, and then we are gonna make a science lab floor right here in the corner. Just need someone to go and take care of that, and then do some, oh no, here we go, in the corner. We'll do some more mining here, get some more resources, always a good thing, right? Oh, I cannot, oh, it's if you click it on the side here, then it doesn't work. We have to kind of click on top. Okay, that's what I'm doing wrong. Here we go. Let's make sure we get some fuel for later. Let's mine this out as well. And kind of just do a little bit there. There's a fairly big room here. Okay, but that's why you can see sometimes it's a good idea to kind of look around a little bit where they have mined out, because you might find things like, for instance, an extra robot. So that's a really good thing. Okay, this looks like maybe there's been a cave-in or something, so we kind of maybe have to mine it out first. Oh, there we go. And then afterwards we can deconstruct that underneath. And there we go. I don't think we're gonna need any of these walls, but we'll see. Okay, there we go. And now we can make our science lab floor. So let's do that. And then we are gonna build Our research station takes some plastic and 25 resin, but it's also gonna need power. So there we go, we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna take our power conduit, and we're just gonna bring that right over there. Look at that, nice. One thing to think about with this is, when you're building, is to be careful not to build too many machines or much stuff that needs this until you're sure where you need all this, because if you put things, you might not be able to access certain things. Like if I suddenly wanted power here, if I had stuff placed on both sides of this wall, I couldn't put the power underneath. I do tend to actually often just run power lines underneath all the walls, so it's easy to hook up to when we start a new room. But let's not use too much of this of these resources right now. So there we go, let's do it. And then we are gonna try to mine out of this and try to get some walls going. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Did I get this exactly where I wanted it? So this would be center. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, that's where the wall is gonna be. So yep, that should work just fine. Go in here, we're gonna dismantle that and try to get the wall kind of moved over. Okay, let's remove those two first. And then I need to figure out where I want the wall over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this is where we're gonna need a wall, right? Here we go. Let's try and fit a wall in that area. And then just kind of have doors in the center. I think that's gonna be the plan. To try and get this room set up. Oh, it's because we don't have walls. Yeah, we have to have the walls in first. Well, we do have the walls. I was just kind of thinking it needed to go there. But it needs to go over here. And then the door kind of rotates on its own. Nice. Okay. Is everybody... I guess everybody's sleeping again now. So let's speed this up a bit more. And let's have a quick look in here. So, colonist log, day 1. My name is Dr. Alex Kenner. Something has gone terribly wrong. I awoke from stasis, but the other members of the research team have not. The system appears to be in some sort of lockdown, and unless I missed a briefing, this should not be the case. Mission protocol states that the research team stasis capsules are supposed to open shortly after arrival at the Mercury facility. My stasis capsule appears to be the only one functioning properly. The comm satellite is online and I've dispatched the relevant data back to Earth. Day 2. The facility AI has been shutting me out of more systems. It indicates that there are issues with the stasis systems, but is expecting an engineer to fix it. The engineer is one of the people still in stasis. This system was supposed to be fail-safe, but no one thought of this scenario. Who designed this bloody system? Okay, so then we have day 5. There are probably other logs. You don't necessarily find them in the right order. At least that's how it used to be. So, still no word from Earth.com. I'm a botanist, not an engineer. I'm liable to kill them if I try to repair the systems myself. Given I'm the only one awake, I have plenty of food rations to last for now, but I certainly don't want to stay here alone. The robots are still functional, and I've started a daily log. Okay, so that might actually be the person that we saw. There was like a pod that was open, right? And I got an achievement. I probably had some other ones before that I didn't even notice. But the game also has achievements now. I think there's like 20 or something like that. In case that's something that you like to hunt in games as well. So, blinded by science, excellent. Research points will be generated by a scientist working at the research bench. These points can be used to unlock the new technologies, recipes, and more on the research screen. There is much we'll need to research and new rooms to construct, but our long-term goal should be to research and construct the elevator. This will allow us to begin surface-side construction and exploration. Sounds good. Ooh, there we go. Research, surface exploration, and construct an elevator. Ooh, okay. And then, did I actually? Yes, I finished reading this. Then you also get something for the different resources that you find. So we have anthracite, which is a fuel, something for iron, something for copper. We found some sand. We found arrowhead fungus, a large blue-capped edible fungus. And we found a machine blueprint detailing how to create an aeroponics farm. Further research will be required. So if we go into the research screen, this is where we can unlock new technologies, recipes, and more by spending research points, tech fragments, and or biosamples. So now that we have our research spend going, this is the first thing we would want to go for, which will give us the biorefiner. We'll be able to build this. We'll be able to make the refinery floor. We'll be able to produce bioplastic and structure resin, which we need for a lot of building, right? But it does take 25 research points, which we don't have yet. We did find, I think we found 5 in one of the chests, but this is what we're gonna need the bench for, right? So we can produce those. And there are also decorations, recipes, and crops, but as you can see, there's a lot of stuff here that we are gonna have to get into to make progress in the game. So now that we have this, let's just pause, and then we're gonna go in here because we need to assign someone to do that. And of course we also got our second worker bot here. So let's look at you. You kind of have pretty average. Smarts 4, muscles 5, athletics 5. How many jobs can you do? Oh, you're one that can do plenty of jobs, so that's good. I think maybe we'll tell you to be janitor first, just to make sure we have that job kind of sorted. And then I think we're gonna let you be a hauler, and then you're gonna be a miner last. I think that's the order we're gonna do with you. And then the other one here, you are a technician, so it kind of takes care of repairing, installing equipment items, and recharge the EMG, which is really important, right? And then you'll be mining, and you'll also be hauling. Okay, so we have those jobs sorted. Then we have someone who's a botanist, a secondary job cook. You're also a janitor, at least for now, but you might be a biologist or something later. So who was it that who has the highest? They generally don't have very high smarts, but you have the highest smarts, so we are gonna go in here. You could be an engineer. So I think I want you to craft, but we don't have anywhere to craft just yet. Oh, it didn't change out. And then when you're not doing that, actually, I think first and foremost, I want you to be a doctor when the time comes. Don't think you can really do anything yet. Then an engineer, and then you're going to be a scientist, which should be the only thing you would want to do right now, because we don't have anything we can craft yet, and we don't have any med beds, so that's what you're going to do. And then we have you. So you are a miner, which is also where you had your highest skill. Do we have anything we haven't assigned? Biologist and surveyor, I don't feel we really need. Yeah, so I think that's what we're gonna stick with. And then just also, so you're primarily gonna be building, I think, yes, building and then mining, and then if you don't have anything else to do, let's let you do some hauling, right? I think that's the plan. There we go. Okay, but we kind of have the most important set up, so now we just need someone. Well, they should start working on this, right? Because that person don't have anything else to do. Bonus chance 0%. What is this? Chance to generate double research points. Bonus is based on room efficiency and is capped at 50%. See, now they're working here. That's good. But we don't really have a proper room for this just yet. But I am kind of thinking we could try to do, I'm not sure how the room stuff works exactly, but we could try and turn this into kind of just a little room, because it's pretty much the only thing you're going to be doing now. You can see they're failing a lot. but we are getting some points. We already have 25, 26. So we can go into, that would be this one. There we go. Why is it, why do we have a little pop up here? Maybe it's just because we can now mine this, or not mine this, but research this. But as you can see here for aeroponics, it is white, this one, because we already found this blueprint, but there are other blueprints that we're gonna need, or discoveries we have to do. Like in this case, we have to find green algae, right? So you can see there are some additional requirements, and then you can see how many research points. So we're gonna need like 750 and pretty high numbers at some point. And eventually we're gonna need other things like tick fragments. But this is the one that we can kind of do right now. Oh, I don't really remember how all of this works. Now it says 1. Oh, it's because we can do this one. There we go. Okay, it's here. Yes, unlock. I do want to unlock that. So now we have material crafting. But for now, let's just let you do your thing. And then we're gonna set up so they can start crafting, and then you're gonna go and do that. But we got power going, we got food going, we started generating this, we got a new robot, so we have kind of gotten started, right? A bit slow, but we will get there, and I'm sure you guys will do a whole lot of things differently than me, but that's the fun thing about these games, right? You can kind of handle things differently. But anyway, let me know what you think about it. I'm gonna try and make the videos like half length of this, but I kind of like when I start a new game to just take a little time to get into it, and then start making more normal length videos. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching, and as always, do take care and happy gaming.